Don't you worry, the clip's about to begin, but don't forget to subscribe. Or else. Don't make me turn this website around.
I have, okay, Phillip in Georgia disagrees with how Matt treated the Trump supporter. Hey, Phillip, which Trump supporter and what did I do wrong?
Well, this is the guy that called last week on Inauguration Day. And any other week of the year, I couldn't care less because I honestly agree with you. And the guy was, I can completely understand why you'd disagree with him. But this was on Inauguration Day after the guy me and you both voted for asked us to try to get along with these people. Any other day of the year, I couldn't care less. This one day, I
don't think that that's what Biden asked me to do, and I don't give a fuck what Biden asked me to do. He works for me.
Well, and when I thought about it after, I realized that's not your responsibility either. You know, whatever. Even if he did ask for it. But I just wondered what your thoughts were, because I kind of think of you as a leader of the atheist community, and you're setting an example. I was wondering if you thought that way or not, or didn't care, or
no. I don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, Phillip. I understand that for better or worse, for whatever reason, I have been put in a position where I'm a prominent, outspoken person in the secular community, and there are people who are going to look up and say, what's Matt think? And what I'm going to keep telling them for my entire life is that, listen to what I have to say, but think about it and make up your own mind. And then when you're wrong, I'll tell you. but it's the whole thing. If you're truly
a skeptic community, that's what you should do anyway.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And I don't,
you as a leader, even though
I'm not shirking responsibility for anything. I realize that what I say has an impact, and I will continue to do everything I can to try to be reasonable. But what I specifically asked was, I told everybody, I can forgive a 2016 vote for Trump. Once upon a time, I couldn't have. Once upon a time, I was like, wow, how could anybody do this? I cannot forgive a 2020 vote for Trump. It is, and the way forward is not for those of us in my political position to just make peace with the people who incited an insurrection, who stormed the Capitol, who got people killed in their attempt to overthrow the government. It doesn't matter that they were ineffectual buffoons who had zero chance of succeeding at actually overthrowing the government. They took action that was seditious. They took action that caused the loss of life. It is embarrassing to me that not everyone in Congress is on board with impeaching, that not everybody in Congress is taking those steps. But for anybody who's sat through the last 4 years and said, yes, I want more of that, we are not allied. We are not going to agree until there's a change. And it's not going to be me changing to hate trans people. It's going to be them changing to allow trans people to have their rights. That's only one way. There's only one direction this can go. And everything else is a give up move and capitulation. And so when somebody calls in to tell me, yes, they were proud in 2020 to vote for Trump after 2016, I'm going to ask them questions, which I did, which is, which of these two situations would you prefer? And in every situation, they preferred the same one that I did, and they voted the opposite way.
Oh, I know. I know. It was crazy. I don't get it either.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I don't know what I did in this treating. Go ahead.
Yeah, about these people storming the Capitol. When that happened, I was thinking, well, they're not all QAnon people. These are crazy people. But then I heard a good majority of Republicans or conservatives, whatever, actually approved of this. So I kind of completely agree with you.
I haven't seen that.
What's our way forward, though? What is our way forward?
Well, what's your way? If you find yourself, and 51 of you out of 100 are in a group, and some significant portion of the other 49 want to marginalize people's rights, then you oppose that and you never give up. You don't give up on the principles of humanism, of rights, of individual rights. It's just to keep the peace, because that's not a peace worth.
How do you even have a conversation with these people, though? How do you even have a conversation? Like, how do you get anywhere?
Some of them you can have conversations with. Some of them people have changed their mind, but some of them you just have to wait for them to die off or go to prison because we have to change the world around them. You can't, this whole notion of how do we fix this? Well, you do the best you can with good information, with better information, with arguments, with evidence. You change the minds that you can change, and any minds that you can't, you change the world around them so that they can do less harm. And that's one of the reasons why I'm okay with reining in some of the executive branch powers, a few of them, because that minimizes the harm that can be done by an individual.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I think the hope, and I good for you, Philip, and for everybody else. I think that what you're looking at is you and a bunch of other people are like, wow, this has been a shit show. How do we get back to some sense of normalcy when there are people who think that the government is being run by satanic pedophiles? And the answer is you do it. You do it by force, by changing the world around them. Because if you can't get them to accept reason, you have no other option.
So we push for a better world and bring them dragging and screaming if we have to then.
Yes, and I'm also in favor of shaming. If somebody is on Twitter and they are not ashamed to talk about white power and white superiority, I will shame the fuck out of them. I will try to talk to them first. But that is a position that is deserving of shame. You are looking at your fellow human beings and suggesting you're better than them while demonstrating you are not.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that at you, Philip, obviously.
Yeah.
But so I want to get on to some more callers. It's a difficult thing, and you got to figure there's some people that you're just never going to get along with, even though you have to work together. And there are rules that allow us to work together as best we can. But you have to just try to do what's right. I don't know any other way to be. I'm happy to, I'll have a conversation with anybody.
All right.
You could bring in a neo-Nazi, KKK, white supremacist, Proud Boy, douche nozzle, Trump-folating, capital rushing piece of crap. And I would at least ask the questions that potentially expose the flawed thinking. Now, if they're not willing to play honestly, well, then we just move on. But if I had a better answer, I'd have done
you
it.
can hang up on me.
Okay, what's that?
Your opening today made me think of this joke I saw. So what do you get when you put 50 lesbians and 50 congressmen in a room?
Okay, I'm going to caution you.
People that don't do dick.
Okay, I'll say that's funny, and then I'm going to drop you. 100 people that don't do dick. Nice. Yeah. One of my favorite jokes from when I was a kid, which I'm not going to tell you. It's a favorite to me because of the story surrounding it. But the joke is potentially problematic, even though I think it's legitimately funny and doesn't disparage anybody. But I stay away from some of those things just because I can have fun and be funny without that. So.
Hey, thanks for checking out this clip for The Line. While you're here, hit that like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and then share this with that bitter uncle of yours who loves talking about the good old days.